Przynski, Kratz next to me, and Aaron Nola next to him, joining us from Philadelphia. Aaron, how you doing, man? Good to see you in person.
Yeah, I know. Thanks for finally having me on.
Great to have you. Yeah, last time we had Aaron, he was like going through the tunnels and trying to find service. We're like, all right, screw it. We're going to come here in person and do the conversation here. So first off, coming off a great outing from the weekend, how'd it go?
Good. Yeah, felt pretty good yesterday. Good sweep for the guys. It was big. We got the Angels coming up this series for the next 3 days, so those are big games for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were nasty.
I appreciate it.
Shocker, it's the end of August going into September here. You guys are in freaking playoff mode again.
Yeah, we got that itch. I think the fans got the itch too. The stadium's getting crowded. I mean, it's been pretty packed all season, which is awesome. I feel like we can feel that energy going into September right now, just kind of what happened last year, and it makes the games a lot more fun, right? Especially, I mean, you know, when you've been in playoffs, it's a whole different feeling. It's a whole different energy level the guys get, and then once we roll in September, it's like the last month going in trying to make postseason. So that's the fun part about it, man. That's what we play for, and so we always train for.
You train for it and everything, but like, dude, you were here forever. Like, we played together in 15. I think you had like 13 or 14 starts. Sometimes that thing pops out, no biggie. Your rookie year, did you think it was going to take you this long to finally pitch in the playoffs last year?
I tell you, being here since 15 and going through the rebuild process and the struggles that we went through, it made it a lot sweeter getting to the World Series last year. It made me appreciate things a lot more, and I feel like once 18 hit, we kind of made a little step, and then 19 hit, we signed Bryce and JT, and we took another step, and then 20. Everybody, we know what happened in 20, so that was kind of a wash or whatever. So 21, we took another step, and then last year we really took that step. So we all saw it coming, all the signings that were being made, and we just had to put it together, and we did it last year. So we got a better team this year, what we think. So we're definitely looking forward to this end of the stretch and going into October. This thing keeps popping out, man.
No, you're good.
You're good. I have a lot of earwax.
I still haven't figured it out. Mine keeps popping out.
I'm just going to keep it out. If that's
you
good.
Just keep it out. If AJ asks you a question, we'll tell you to put it in.
Okay.
Przynski's on there, but he's kind of he's here for the ride.
He's long distance.
He's a backup catcher today.
Well, okay, so I want to ask you, and I'm sure AJ would love to hear about this, your thoughts on a statement from our teammate Ken Rosenthal recently, who said Philly fans are getting soft. And he said that because they're so hardcore for so many years. And for example, one of your new teammates, Trey Turner, was going through it a little bit. Now he's hitting his stride. And the way that the crowd reacted during that time period, we gave a lot of attention to and applauded it because at times Philly fans can be harsh. And the Northeast in general will get after you. If you're a new player, if you're a player that's struggling, even if in New York you're Aaron Judge and you have like one bad game in the playoffs and then they're like, forget everything. So what was that like? And do you think that Philly fans are kind of getting a little more family oriented and a little sweeter to the Phillies?
I didn't hear that comment that they were getting soft.
And he said it like half joking on it.
It was,
I mean, I always said, especially after last year, I'd rather have a fan base like this than a fan base that doesn't care, right? You know, if you're doing not what you're supposed to be doing and you're not living up to your expectations. They have expectations, right? We also have expectations. I think it's good to have that. And they let you know when you're not doing well, and they also let you know when you are doing well. So to have a fan base that's passionate, I'd rather, at the end of my career, I'd rather look back and say, I'm glad and I was lucky to play in a fan base, in front of a fan base like this, than a fan base that didn't care or was quiet. Because we've been to stadiums that have been like that.
Oh yeah,
and
you want
coming here. I tell you this, coming here in the playoffs, we heard it all the time. Like being here in 15 and stuff like that, going through the rebuild. They're like, oh, just get to the playoffs and you'll hear it. You're like, I'm so tired of hearing that. Like, obviously, we're trying to get to the playoffs, but getting there last year and seeing this crowd, it was immaculate.
More than you expected, right?
Yeah, it was amazing. Going to even the places in the playoffs that we went to play at, it doesn't compare to Citizens Bank.
I mean, yeah, you had to wait a long time to get it, but you finally experienced it. And we're kind of talking about this with the second best pitcher going into the free agent market and Shohei. Like if they had, you're the first best if you didn't figure that out. But does this last 2 years, like, does it spark a different light for you here? Like seeing what you went through and then finally getting there. And now, obviously, we don't know what this year holds, but you guys are rounding out to be an absolute beast again in the playoffs. Does it spark something different?
Yeah, I think the only people that believed we were going to get to the World Series was us last year, right? And we had really good players, strong division, obviously, and I don't think anybody thought we were going to be where we were at and finish where we were at. But we knew because our chemistry is really good and our clubhouse is solid. Guys on the team play really well together. The guys that come up from AAA get traded over. They fit right in, and we welcome them right in. And I think that plays a really big part. I think that's overlooked a little bit nowadays is camaraderie and chemistry. Kratzy, you probably know better than anybody. One of the better team guys that I've ever played with, and I didn't even play with him that long. So that's definitely overlooked, I feel like. It goes a long way. Chemistry in a clubhouse and camaraderie with guys and guys getting along and playing hard with each other. It's overlooked.
Who builds that? Because like you and Reese were here, and now Reese is down this year, and you guys seem like you have that again. You bring.
I think Schwarber coming in last year was our piece, man. He's
not
guy.
Just the homers. You're saying,
yeah.
Again,
not just the homers.
Like, what does he do though?
Yeah.
Because guys talk about that a lot. Like, can you give me a recent example in the past like week or two where you're like, oh, that's Schwarber kind of bringing the crew together?
Well, I mean, he's the guy on the mic and on the bus, which is a huge part. Kratzy was that.
That's electric for me.
Yeah, Schwarber's electric, man. He's a guy that he plays every single day. It doesn't matter. He's doing good or doing bad. He's playing every day. He comes in. If he gets out, he comes, stands on the top step, makes fun of himself sometimes. Doesn't really complain at all. I've never really heard the dude complain at all. And cheers for his teammates when he gets out. He knows he's going to get up again, right? And see what he's done, right? So many RBIs at a leadoff spot and all the homers he hits in big situations. And it's impressive to see for me, because to see a guy like his caliber not complain or, like throw his stuff, he gets out, goes back on the bench, and, sometimes like, God, that guy got me, or I just missed that, or, Trey, let's go, something like that. It's something easy like that. It goes a long way for guys on the team, especially young guys, to see that kind of stuff.
Does he joke about how, especially the last few years, he just lights up after a couple months of the season? He's like, screw a little slump in the beginning of the season. I'm going to get all my numbers the last like 3.5 months of the year.
Once June hits, once June hits, and then he rolls with it to the end of the year.
Is he cold here? It's like literally
April and May.
Yeah,
I mean April can be coldish.
Oh, is it cold here? Yeah, it gets cold.
Yeah.
It's cold-ish.
But like sometimes the guys like in the Midwest, right? Like you play for the Twins, and I talked to some guys.
That's
I'm like,
cold.
hey, what happened in April?
Cold.
They were like, it was 10 degrees every day.
Yeah. No, you're grinding.
It gets cold. You have your days at nights where it's really, really windy. The days aren't as bad, but
you want more day games in April.
Yeah, you want more day games in April. Yeah.
I don't know if you do. You're out there long sleeves anyway, just slinging the rock.
Yeah.
Are you long sleeves even if it's hot?
No. Just during the cold. The pitchers are probably your warmest on the field, right?
Catcher too. Yeah, I always sweat. I'm sweating right now.
Yeah,
sitting next to you. What is one good story you can tell us from the mic that Schwarber or like a thing that Schwarber does that you're like, oh man, I hope this rookie comes up and screws this up? Or because that's actually one of the questions I'm gonna ask Trey, because I heard a secondhand story about when Trey was a rookie on the mic about what he did. Because that there's some rookies that are just epic on the mic. Or does he call up other guys besides rookies?
He calls up other guys, like the guys that are new, just to get to know them.
Right.
Guys who get traded over or that we signed this year at the beginning of the year.
Did Trey do anything epic on the mic when you guys first?
Dude, I don't
remember. You don't remember?
Probably beginning of the season.
Okay.
Trey was up there. You have to ask him. He's got a bunch of good stories, man. I can't think of one in particular, but you know how the mic stuff goes a little bit. I
It's,
don't know if I want
it's
to say
very,
anything on here.
No, for sure. My go-to was always when we play the Giants. I would go in there and just make sure the guys knew that we're playing San Francisco, the San Francisco Giants, but they're just regular-sized people. So don't get nervous. And it really helped the guys. We always beat the Giants.
That was your dad joke?
That was my dad joke.
That's good.
But sometimes it can be intimidating. You've never been to the big leagues. You think they're San Francisco Giants, like they're just regular size.
Like you come from small town America.
Right.
You don't know.
Like you think alligators, you could just pick alligators in Florida.
That.
Yeah. Anyway, that was from another Thursday.
It's not that much of an inside joke. I can tell them we had some Yankees minor leaguers on the other day on our show, and one guy was like, "Oh, in Florida, I heard you can just like pick up gators off the street and sell them." We're like, "That's definitely not a thing."
I don't know about selling, but you can pick them up.
You can pick them up. You can pick them up, but then back down. And also, good luck picking them up.
Yeah.
They're gonna be a little pissed off if you do.
But he's an outdoor guy. Tell us what you got. Any trips planned this off season?
Yeah, we're gonna try to go to.
This is your thing.
Yeah,
Like you're an absolute outdoorsman.
Yeah, I like the outdoors. We bought a van in 2020.
It's awesome.
Sprinter van. So it's done. We built it out, so it's done. But I'm getting a couple more things in it. So a couple more upholstery, couple seats and stuff like that. I won't go too in detail with that, but we tried to go last year after the season, but World Series, and we both got sick. So my wife and I both got sick. So we kind of trekked back down south and took our time. But we want to go out to Montana. I think my brother was buying a house in Whitefish, Montana. So we're gonna go out there, drive from here out there, and then we want to go to Durango, Colorado. My wife's best friend works out there, and then we definitely want to go down to the PCH. So I don't want to take that drive down there. I heard it's pretty cool. So we want to put some miles on the van, and we got 2 dogs, so they like it too.
Nice. Would you ever live out of it during the season, even for a short period of time? I ask that because I'm learning there are more and more players that are more living out of trailers than sprinters. But like we just learned that Andrew Chafin's lived in his trailer for like a season at a time at times.
Yeah, well, if it was just me,
yeah,
I could for sure. I think with the wife and dogs, I don't know if she'd be too up to it for a season.
That's fair.
I mean, this is a camper van. It's not like I don't have air conditioning in it besides when you turn the car on. So I just have like 2 fans. So it gets pretty hot. It's pretty hot and gets pretty cold. So I don't know why I didn't think of this when I just came up.
Oh, to get something like that for the off season. Yeah,
or just
got a little more
because when you get back from road trips, you get back at like 2-3 a.m. Park that thing up top on the garage. You just go sleep in it.
If it's a summer, park down below.
Yeah,
or it might be too high for.
Yeah, it's too high. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I want to ask you about your brother. How's things going for him? Because it's been a freaking disappointing season.
Yeah.
In San Diego.
Yeah. Well, he got sent down right after we played them over here, and then he was getting some concussion tests done last time I talked to him because he said he wasn't right because he got hit in the face in spring training that time when he got hit right there when he was hitting. So
that's right.
Yeah, so he said he came back a little too early and he wasn't really seeing the ball right. Still kind of waking up with headaches and stuff like that. So I think he had a little bit of a post-concussion syndrome type of thing.
And sometimes it takes a while. I remember this story in New York, like Rizzo was playing for a while, and
so
he
I
wasn't
think that's
hitting.
That's how he kind of found out because when Rizzo went on the DL, I think he went on.
Yeah,
4-4.
They put him on. Suddenly, like he's like, "Hey, I'm getting dizzy."
Yeah,
and all
so
that.
Austin saw that and was like, "I might need to go get some more tests done."
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, well, dude, hopefully we'll see you in the playoffs again and the whole
man.
deal. Good to see you.
Yeah,
appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Glad we saw you in person this time.
Glad I got to get on here.
Yeah,
you don't need any Wi-Fi when you're here live.
Yeah, you're right.
No, exactly. We bring the show here. We'll be right back with Aaron's teammate Trey Turner on Stadium. FT Live continues.